Yeah, you're right. A little nippy out there, a little chill in the air, windy too. We did not hit 60 degrees today. 57-ish, the high temperature. And this is New Orleans, like Drew Brees said. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, you right. Sunny and nice out there, but you better have on a jacket. As my mom would say, you got sleeves? You need sleeves. It's cold out there. Put on some sleeves. 57 was the high today. Temperature starting to drop again. Tomorrow, the high temperature. Tomorrow morning will be in the high 30s. Tomorrow morning on the South Shore, high 30s. Below freezing on a lot, if not all, of the North Shore tomorrow morning. There'll be high 20s in some spots. Yeah, very cold. And then Wednesday through Sunday, 50s to 70s. Right back into the 70s by Wednesday, Thursday, through the weekend. That's what I love about New Orleans. I love our weather. I often talk about history and architecture and music and food and people and culture. And it's true. We've got all that like most places don't. I mean, those 6 things, think about it. Most places in America don't have a lot of history or culture. They don't have their own food or music. The opposite, the food's terrible and the music sucks. And there's really no culture to speak of, and the people are transients, just not like New Orleans got a lot of natives, some transients. We need more for our economy. But one thing we often overlook, our weather. Yes, we get a lot of rain, but we get it quick and fast, and then it's over with, and we needed it. But we get a lot of sunshine and beautiful days, and boy, we've had a nice stretch the last few months. I mean, really, since summer ended and the non-summer season started, it's been outstanding weather. Very little rain, lots of sunny days. And another great thing about our weather, when we get something cold and chilly, like this morning, it was cold. Temperatures in the 40s, and with the wind blowing, like it was blowing like 10, 12, 15 miles an hour. And out of the north, cold wind, it felt like 10, 15 degrees colder than 40. I was up on the levee this morning on the river, and it was like 35 degrees feels like. Pretty close to freezing feels like, with that wind blowing at least 15 miles an hour this morning. Tomorrow morning, it's going to be breezy and cold. But no, within 36 or 48 hours, kaboom goes the dynamite. We're right back to 65. And that'll be the case on Wednesday. Hey, Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latin X at the controls, fielding your phone calls at 766-9480. 766-9480. Mario, you just flailed the hand up with the 2 fingers together at me a second ago.
Oh, you were just going
subconsciously. You were giving a shout out. I called your name, so you were responding to that.
I don't know why I have a habit of doing that on radio, but yeah, I was just acknowledging you and the audience, even though they can't see me.
Did you say essay before you? Did you say essay?
No, nobody says that.
No one does?
No, not since like 2002. No.
But your car does hop in front because you're Latino, right?
No, but Eddie Guerrero's did, and I loved him as a child.
No, he popped up and down?
Yeah, the hydraulics.
Have you seen these Japanese kids that dress like Latinos in Japan?
I have not.
You got to check this out. Google it right now.
Japanese
This
kids.
is Mario Brothers. He is a Latino, and we're going to get his first reaction live on the air. Like the hardcore Latino look, blue and red bandanas, almost gang-like type stuff. Shirt buttoned at the top, not the rest of the way. Check out the Japanese kids. Just go to images.
Oh wow!
No. It's the Mexican culture in Japan. Am I exaggerating? Like, listen, Mario. Oh wow! What do you see, Mario?
Yeah, no, they're dressed like Chicano. I guess like hood Spanish people.
The cars, dude, forget about just hopping. They got the back goes up the front. They go sideways. All kind of tricks with the vehicles.
Wow, today years old. Way to keep me up on pop culture.
Chicano culture in Asia. It's so funny. It's like, I don't know if it's the culture more than like the look. I don't know if they're eating Mexican food or
Nah.
Latino food, but the look for sure.
Yeah, they probably just like the look.
Flannel shirt buttoned at the top with the wife beater on underneath, but no buttons for the rest of the way.
From what I can see, maybe you know more about this than me, but I feel like they're trying to like pay tribute. They're not like gonna.
Oh no! I think they like it. They're not doing it
Yeah.
for sure. They're not making fun.
And I don't see too many Spanish people being like, "Oh, they're appropriating my
I
culture."
don't. No,
You know, like,
Spanish people are saying it. It's so crazy appropriating culture. Who comes up with that
yeah,
nonsense?
that's stupid.
That's the wokest, stupidest stuff on the planet.
Yeah, this
The best form of flattery is someone copying what you do and
Exactly.
appreciating what you do.
Exactly. No,
What's
this
great about America, we expropriate everything from everywhere.
exactly. This reminds me of a story between two NBA players. You had Kenyon Martin and Jeremy Lin. Kenyon Martin had dreadlocks at one point, and Jeremy Lin is Asian, but he had dreadlocks. And Kenyon Martin was mad. He put up a post and was like, "Oh, you're appropriating my culture."
Wow.
And Jeremy Lin was like, "Hey, you know, I think it's cool that you have a Chinese tattoo on your arm," which Kenyon Martin did.
Nice.
So I don't think you're appropriating
Wow.
my culture there.
Wow.
And I'm trying to play, you
Wow.
know, tribute
What a
to.
comeback.
Yeah, and Kenyon Martin, to his credit, kind of apologized after that.
Yeah, after that, when he goes, yeah, I do have a Chinese, thing on my arm.
Yeah, so there's nothing wrong.
And I might be wrong on what I think it means.
Yeah, and I hate, I love like certain country music. I love certain rap music. I think it's okay to, pay tribute to things that you like.
No, and I don't like either one, and that's fine.
Exactly. You don't like it. It's not because, race or anything like that.
No, not at all.
Exactly.
The opposite. That would be ridiculous.
Yeah, so I never.
I look. You can pretty much do anything, and I'm going to watch the NFL. I mean, they'd have to like kill dogs and cats at halftime for me to not watch an NFL game. You know what I mean?
Shout out Tom Brady.
Very difficult to, not. So, yeah, it'd be very hard for me to be like, wow, there's a black guy in there. He's white. I'm not going to because they're white. I mean, it's like, no, I like it. It's good. I don't care who's behind the scenes.
Exactly. No, that's cool. I did not know they were doing that in Japan, but that's
cool. Mario, all kidding aside, I don't like Latinos. Let's get on with the program.
Love you too, man.
Now, we were talking about that the other day. Like, if you're eating in New Orleans, I don't care what it is, Chinese, Italian, might be Latinos cooking that in that kitchen for you.
Yep.
It's funny. And the whole family's there, like nuclear, employees around. Never miss a shift, and they're cooking Italian. You think there's some Italian guy back there. His name might be Luis, but he's not Italian.
Ha.
Mario Brothers. Yeah, Chicano culture in Asia, Mario.
That's awesome.
I know. I saw that a few months ago. The cars, you got to check out the cars because it's the Latino and, black and white folks in America that have like the hopping front end vehicle.
Yes.
The Japanese blow them away.
Yeah, with the engineering they do over there, the cars they make.
Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy.
That's probably cool.
All right, Mario, before I shift gears, speaking of vehicles, maybe I'll turn you on to something else. Have you seen the Saudis and their stunt driving?
No.
Oh, okay. No, they're just so rich and wealthy. They have Google it.
Okay.
Saudi stunt driving. That's all you have to put on there. It's like Range Rovers and Mercedes on two wheels.
Man.
Like, this better never come to America because, they have a desert. Like, they can go left and right. They're not taking out like someone's house.
Yeah, they got a lot of room.
Look at it. No, it's all like, look at the highway. There's nothing on either side of it. The highway runs through the desert.
Yeah.
But look at them outside the window. It's like, that's all legit too. Those photos aren't AI. Some might be now, but you can watch the video. And they've been doing it for years. That's when you have too much money.
Yeah.
You're putting the G-Wagon on two wheels, and it's $150K for that car.
Yeah.
All right. We're supposed to be introducing today's program. Jon Sumrall joining us in 5 minutes, Wave fans. Yeah, you're right. Tulane head football coach Jon Sumrall. The winner. The guy that just says all the right things. Boy, I love the, I'm trying to say, I guess I can just say RMFW. RMFW.
RMFW.
That's what the coach says.
Yeah, LSU people say STTDB, the abbreviation, the neck chant. So, yeah, you can say that.
There you go. Anyway, Jon Sumrall is going to join us, Wave fans. Tulane, huge victory back on Friday night, knocking off Memphis on the road. Top 25 nationally ranked, conference leading Memphis, that Memphis team. Big win. Jon Sumrall a few minutes away. Spread the word, Wave fans. Text your pals. Call your buddies. Check it out on the radio. Check it out on television. Check it out on YouTube live. Check it out on X. We're live right now on Twitter. We're live right now on YouTube. Follow us on X at Corey Johnson. Check us out on YouTube, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. Corey spelled Kaare. Former NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue has passed away. Save the Saints post-Katrina. Tom Benson kind of hell-bent moving the team to San Antonio. We're going to stay in San Antonio. You'll have the Houston Texans, you'll have the Dallas Cowboys, and soon the San Antonio Saints. The New Orleans Saints are actually a Texas organization. They're filed and they're run as a Texas company, I guess taxes or something. Some financial benefit. But then NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue, and Roger Goodell was his right-hand man. They were like, Tom, you're not moving the Saints to San Antonio. Forget about you for a second. It would hurt the NFL image. Your city was decimated by a storm. We're going to be part of the solution, rebuilding it, not abandoning it. So thank Paul Tagliabue, because Tom Benson was pretty hell-bent. If the NFL was like saying, sure, no problem, do whatever you want, Tom, you're the owner, we'll greenlight whatever you want to do, the Saints would have moved to San Antonio.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Artificial turf custom golf putting greens. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate. Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
As New Orleans as coffee in the morning and forever. As New Orleans is coffee in the morning and raw oysters for lunch, it's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. Tulane head football coach Jon Sumrall is about to join us on the program. Huge win at Memphis back on Friday night, which is, exactly what the doctor ordered. Cool, crispy morning. Tulane head football coach Jon Sumrall joining us again on the program. How are you, Coach?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Doing well, man. You knock out that Audubon Park run this morning in the cold?
I got it in, brother. I was out there at about 5:20 in the morning. It was cool. It was not hot by any stretch of the imagination. I saw some of my same regulars I see every Monday out there. I got like a little running community that a couple people that I know I've gotten to know, and it was fun. I like, it's getting brighter earlier, so I'm able to see where I'm running a little bit better than I was a couple weeks ago.
You kind of answered my question. I figured there had to be some others that run that at that time that run with you, but I'm thinking there has to be some folks that popped up and are joining you on the run just to get to know you a little. Is that true or not really? No strangers joining the run?
Well, strangers don't stay strangers. You get to know them.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, it's kind of fun. Like, there is the same people, I see the same people every morning for the most part. And so you end up talking to people or getting to know them a little or waving, and just you kind of develop like a little bit of a, relationship, friendship, and it's kind of cool. It's kind of fun.
All right. Well, you're running one around the one around the park?
Yeah. So I go from the office all the way around the park to Magazine, back to the office, which is it's right at 4 miles for me. So that's my normal run.
You're running the outside trail, not the inside?
I go back and forth. I usually hit the inside a little bit, but some days I hit the outside.
What is the inside? 1.8, I think, Coach?
Yeah. The inner loop, the paved loop is 1.8, right? 178. I think it's 178 to be exact.
Wow. You know. Hey, Coach, do you and your family live in Uptown?
We actually live in Old Metairie.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we're in Old Metairie.
Gotcha. You got a love for Uptown, man. We've talked about this before. Those pictures on Twitter, on X, fantastic, man.
Yeah, well, when me and my wife lived here, over a decade ago, when I was an assistant coach at Tulane, and then when my two oldest kids were born here, we lived Uptown. But now we got 4 kids, man. Tulane takes care of me. I made decent money, but man, living uptown with 4 kids, the space we need, golly, I don't have enough room in Uptown. So I love Uptown. When I was an assistant coach here, we lived on Magazine Street, not far from the Whole Foods for a little while.
Yep.
And then when our 2 kids were born, our twins are 12 now, we moved up closer to Ferret Street, up near Newman. And then now we moved back, and I got too many kids that need too much space to do life. And so we're in Metairie, but we're about as close to the Orleans Parish line in Metairie as you can get.
Yeah, it's real convenient. It's easy getting around the city. That's one benefit, Coach. I think you live in a lot of other places. It's like you live in Laplace and you're commuting to Slidell,
Right. That's right. Yeah. I'm like, I come into work so early. I usually leave the house about 5 a.m. At the latest on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And so, it's like a 11, 12-minute drive most days.
Yeah. Metairie Road, like after 10 p.m., someone shuts it down. You could take a nap on Metairie Road at 10 at night.
There's now at 5 p.m. It is like,
oh no,
it's chaos. But once it gets to be about 9 o'clock at night, Metairie Road, you feel like you're in Mayberry.
Yeah, exactly. Literally. Hey, Coach, a huge win on the road versus a top 25 team. That's a conference opponent. That's a big win at an AAC leading Memphis back on Friday, huh?
Yeah, I'm really proud of our guys for their response. The previous week we had played about as poor as we could play, and it just felt like the perfect storm of bad events that went against us. There's a lot of maybe frustration with our guys after that performance, and to see their response, man. We talk about, like, with our team, all the time. There's going to be events that happen in your life, even when you're trying to do the right thing, that don't go the right way. And man, how you respond to them really says more about your character to the negative events than the positive ones. The positive ones, everybody's having a good day. But when something goes sideways or you fail, do you mope? Do you whine? Do you complain? Or do you pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and get back to it and try to go to work again? And so I was really pleased, obviously with the win, but I was equally as pleased with our guys' approach to their response.
Saturday afternoon is sold out. Florida Atlantic and Uptown. You got to be happy about that.
Man, it's awesome. So fired up. Our fan base last year at homecoming was a great environment to see. It's already out in the city edition, the Uptown edition uniform with the cool helmets that are hand painted. And I think it's a great opportunity for us to go play against a good conference team. FAU is one of the best offenses in our league. They're putting points up in droves right now, but thrilled that we got to sell out. I think it's awesome for our guys to have that opportunity to play in front of that crowd.
Hey, Coach, the Angry Wave might be the best logo mascot in all of college football. Those Uptown uniforms are just badass, huh?
Aren't they clean? Yeah, man. When we started to come up with that idea, the concept, our equipment staff, Cody and Gabe and some of that crew, they brought me the idea, and I'm like, yeah, no brainer. Like, I love our Angry Wave. I don't want to get away from it ever.
Yep.
But as a one-off, man, what a cool way to pay tribute to the city we live in and just kind of connect and go like, hey, this is a tribute to the city. Like, this is where we're from. This is what we're about. And man, those uniforms are clean, man.
They got everything on them: wrought iron, Mardi Gras beads, the street tiles for the street names. I mean, who came up with the warning label with the water meter cover? Because they need a raise.
Yeah, isn't that cool too?
That's unreal.
Every little detail of that uniform, man, is thought out. Like, there's nothing really just kind of like it's just for chance or happenstance. Like, I hope it looks good. Like, all the way to that warning label, like you said, matching the water meter label we have here. And so Cody and Gabe, I say the credit goes to those guys, and the person that hand paints the helmets. That person, don't know them personally. They're coming in town for the game, but every helmet is hand painted.
Wow.
And the beads on each helmet are not the same. So they're all kind of a little bit different. Each helmet is unique. Every one of them's a little different. And so obviously similar because they have a street tile Tulane on it, but they're all hand painted. So no two helmets will be alike.
Yeah, incredible uniforms. Hey, did Tulane University acquire a blimp? There's a huge building on Claiborne Avenue.
Yeah, it's going up. Like I said, when I get to work, it's usually still dark. When I leave, it's still dark. So I haven't seen it really that well lit. And really, once I get to work, I don't venture back towards Claiborne until I go home. Yeah, it's up. I haven't been inside it. I've been so busy trying to figure out a way to win another game that I haven't gone to check it out. When it's complete and they want us to go practice in it, I'll go check it out. Till then, I'm going to stay where we got to stay to keep working.
Hey, do you anticipate coaching the Green Wave in that thing when it opens in about a month?
Man, I'm here, baby. I want to coach in the college football playoff in about a month. And a conference championship game in about a month. So we are here.
That's good. I like hearing that, Coach. Hey, is there a more volatile job than being a head coach at the college level? Like 8 weeks ago, Ron Franklin was on top of the world, has the number 2 team in the country. Now he's looking for a job.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, man, that people sometimes can be a little fickle with you. And, when you're having success, everybody's patting you on the back. When you drop a game or two, the same people might try to stab you in the back. You never know what they're going to do. And so, man, I really stay so focused on our team. Like, I have a sign on my office door above the door that says coach the team. And I really stay focused on just coaching the team to the best of my ability. My job is to serve and develop our players. And some people, we win a game. Some people may love me. We lose a game. Some people may hate me. I really don't care. All I want to do is help our players become their best. And if I'm doing that, I can live with outcomes. But it is definitely volatile. It's a crazy world we live in. You can't please everybody. And you do the best you can with what you got, and you put your head to bed at night knowing you're doing the best you can.
No doubt. Don't forget to tell those coaches, don't pat the players on the butt too much. They might poop in your hand.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, that doesn't mean don't encourage your guys. You have to keep a balance. You
Hell yeah.
can't get soft. Too many
Yeah.
people I talked to our team this morning about, complacency and how, so too many people, they have one positive outcome and they think that all of a sudden that because they had one positive outcome, that success will just be continuous. Like it's lasting forever. Where, man, success is fleeting. It's momentary. It's not permanent. And as soon as you get complacent, and all of a sudden you have disregard for the little details, the hard work that it took for you to get that success. And so, man, I fight complacency with everybody every day and make sure that we understand you got to stay hungry. You got to keep a little fire in your belly.
You say it in a slightly more friendly voice, but you sound like Nick Saban a lot. You got that sheet on your desk with a lot of his, rat poison type stuff, right?
Oh yeah. No, we look, I have a lot of respect for Coach Saban, and as a coach, I study other coaches that have done well or maybe that I respect, and I'd say for sure he's up there with one, the greats of any sport. I think you look at Nick Saban and John Wooden, and there's certain guys you're like, just wow, man, what a powerful thinker and somebody that understands how to stay on track and focused and driven. So yeah, there's a lot of Nick Saban from a lot of those things that we talk about.
Hey, Coach, you're a hot commodity right now. The big schools are already calling your agent. What would you like to share with the audience, like what you've told your agent as far as your ambitions, your goals as a college head football coach?
Yeah, I don't talk to them about any of this stuff really this time of year. Everybody wants to get into the mid-season coaching carousel conversation. And to me, it's no different than like our players. They go through a transfer portal window. It's now in January. It was in December. Coaches, to me, right now, it's football season, and so that stuff's not even on my radar. I've turned down a lot of other opportunities, even since being here. I mean, so if I've said it a bunch of times, if it was as simple as me wanting to be a Power 4 head coach or make the most money I could make, I wouldn't be at Tulane. I don't make decisions based upon those type of things. I make decisions based upon, number one, is my family happy? And my family's really happy here. And number two, are we resourced to be successful within our conference? And, like I said, my family's happy, and I'm continuing to push the envelope to make sure our program is resourced to where we have a chance to be successful. Right now, we are looking up at some people in our league resourcing, whether it be rev share or facilities. I'm trying to continue to grow those things. I want to take care of our players. I want to take care of our coaches. I want to continue to provide our student athletes with the best facilities to be competitive. And, I think there's a couple of schools in our league right now that are ahead of us in some of those areas. And it's my job to try to create enough urgency that we don't fall behind.
Not that facilities don't mean anything, or they obviously do, but boy, NIL, that's emerged as maybe the key thing, right? The money for the players.
No question. If we can put together a great roster, hell, I could practice in a parking lot and win games. You don't need a bubble. We could practice in Claiborne parking lot and not have a facility.
Yeah.
It's about having good players, and I said it 100 times. If I said it once, if we've got really good players, I'm a really good coach, and if we got really bad players, it's hard for me to be a really good coach. Like this is a player's game, man. My job is to help equip our players to be their best. I'm a firm believer that players win games, man. And coaches, we can help them find a way to mess it up maybe, but man, my job is to help put together the best roster and equip our players to be their best. And this is about, fielding a quality team year in, year out. And without the rev share NIL lane, this day and age, you have no chance.
Hey, Coach, just a couple more questions and I'll get off this and let you run. What kind of offer would draw you away from Tulane?
I have no idea. My mind's not even there. my mind so much on just being in the moment and coaching the football team I got. Man, I love what I do every day. There's no offer that's even on my mind about any of that stuff, to be quite honest with you. It's all about FAU, all about Tulane's 2025 football team, and all about how can I continue to position us to be successful for the long haul and the future of what we're trying to build.
Let me flip this the other way. What makes Tulane a great job? What do you love about coaching Tulane?
That's an easier answer, man. Well, I get to live in one of the coolest areas in the world. The New Orleans area is, I think, a special place, unique. Man, my family loves it here. We've got great relationships and friendships. So, like I said, everything with me starts with family. My family loves it here. Number two, man, I think we've got a great team with quality young people that are driven and want to be great, and they want to get pushed, and they want to get coached. And so that's a huge component to it. We get to do it at a great academic institution. And so really it's about, man, do you love where you are? Yes, I love where we're at. And then do you love who you're doing it with? Yes, I love who I get to do it with. And it's really, really simple just on those two things.
Final question, Coach. I cleaned up your quote earlier. I said, don't pat the players on the butt too often. They might poop in your hand. How do we clean up our MFW? Roll more for Wave, roll millions for Wave, roll many Wave fans. What?
No, here it's easy. Like I tell my mom lives in North Alabama still, my mom and my dad. And my mom, she doesn't like my mouth sometimes. She calls me and she'll tell me, will you clean up your language? And I said, Mom, all it is roll mother freaking Wave. All right? It's not that bad. Like, you can say freaking. And so it's just roll mother freaking Waves, all it is, until you get really excited, and the words might change a little.
And does she buy that?
Probably not.
Yeah, mine wouldn't probably either. Coach,
my mom's pretty smart. She was an educator her whole professional career. So she knows better.
Yeah, those words can be good motivational tools. I mean, I'm a Yaddy New Orleanian. They don't slip out on the air, but, you know.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hey, Coach, a pleasure, man. I really appreciate the time and you always being available for us.
Glad to hop on with you, man. Have a great day.
Yep, talk to you soon. That's Jon Sumrall, Tulane head football coach, fresh off of a huge win against Memphis. 3:00. It's sold out Saturday afternoon. Finally. Yeah, you right, New Orleans. Yeah, you right, Green Wave fans. Got to fill Yeoman. It's only 30,000 seats. It's a great environment for football. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday. Rolling on through Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx. He's at the controls. You got a question or comment? 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Hey, Green Wave fans, after the program, we're 4 to 6 every weekday. You can check out that interview on YouTube after the fact. The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Doesn't cost anything. And we'll also have some sniblets, some cuts from that. Mario Brothers is going to get out the knives and chop it up. That'll be on X and YouTube later this afternoon, later this evening. Jon Sumrall, Tulane head football coach, joining us for about the last 15 minutes on the program. A lot going on. Always better on a Monday when the Saints pick up a win. We'll get Mario Brothers' take on that in the 5 o'clock powwow. Have the Saints found a quarterback? ULL's next president? Governor Landry has his pick. No search needed, apparently. Kind of the opposite of how you do it. Instead of a national search finding the best person for the ULL president's job, Landry brings in a guy that's going to say yes to everything Jeff Landry wants. You know, when things are working fine, or that guy's on your team, that's your political party, your ideology, it's all thumbs up. Break the rules, break the law, go against the grain. It's all good. We needed change, blah, blah, blah. If it's the opposite of your political ideology, you're kind of filling up your depends and bumming out about the whole deal. The point is, it doesn't matter the philosophy if you like it or not. You should always be against any governor or any elected politician going beyond where they should go. Have you heard another governor? I mean, I don't hear Ron DeSantis talking about like the University of Florida, their AD. He's not picking the football coach, any of this. And if the governors are involved in board selections for universities, the president of the university, boy, they sure hide it, because in Louisiana, we don't. No, if I'm a ULL fan, supporter, I'd be a little nervous about Governor Jeff Landry getting his yes man to run ULL. And it doesn't matter if he's a ULL grad. He loves the school. He's all for it. Get a national search. The best and the brightest from all around the country, not some local, yokel that's a yes man to the governor. That's no bueno. Boy, first it was Langenstein's, now Adler's. These are a couple of New Orleans institutions over 100 years in business continuously. Langenstein's is no longer. I guess the River Ridge location will be a Langenstein's, I think through December. So Langenstein's will still be, running the River Ridge store through December. I might go out there just to pick out some steaks or something before they call it a day. I like Robert's. I like Robert's just fine. I think Robert's is a quality grocery. I like Rouse's. But I like picking out steak and seafood at Langenstein's a lot. I just think they ease. I love the Uptown Langenstein's, which is now a Robert's, which I'll never go to probably again in my life unless I just happen to be by there, because that Robert's on Claiborne and Carrollton's closer to my house. Why would I go to the old Langenstein's? I just like the variety. I like, having choices. And they all had little niches and did things differently. I didn't buy paper towels, toilet tissue, toothbrush, toothpaste at Langenstein's. But steaks, lamb chops, seafood, you bet. Fruits and vegetables, Langenstein's, you bet. No, Langenstein's gone. Now Adler's. I bought my wedding ring at Adler's for the former wife, Mario Brothers. Do it once, my boy. You don't get married to get divorced. And then, I think I bought her a watch. I think I bought some other girl I dated a watch. I received a watch from Adler's. I bought a watch for myself from Adler's. Different jewelry through the years. No, I'm native New Orleanian. I've been around a bunch of decades as an adult. Of course, I've been to Adler's on Canal Street. Never purchased anything from the Metairie location, which ironically opened less than a decade ago. I think that Metairie location on Vets by Trader Joe's maybe opened in 2017, 2018, not too long ago. Adler's closing. No, sad. They've been at it like almost 130 years. Langenstein's just went over 100 about 3 years ago, 1922. No, it's a bummer. It's sad. I mean, life goes on. I'm not crying about it. But these New Orleans institutions that have been around over a century, I mean, Adler's and Langenstein's, they're older than some U.S. states, than some states in this country. So, no, that's a lot of history going bye-bye. Former NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue passing away over the weekend. He was 84. He saved the Saints. I'll never forget that. It's post-Katrina. I'm running around the city covering stuff for the legacy station down the dial, WWL Radio. They all left town. They went to Baton Rouge. At the Dome, they're like, get on the helicopter. We're all going to Baton Rouge. I'm like, y'all go. Get on the helicopter, you're fired. I guess I'm fired because I'm not going to Baton Rouge. I live 2 blocks away right there. I'll be staying at my house, or I'll find other means where I'm staying, but I'm not going to Baton Rouge where the story doesn't exist. So they got in the helicopter, threatened to fire me, and I'm doing reports 10 minutes later on the station. Bunch of nonsense. No, I mean, sometimes you just have to, when the boss either is not qualified or has absolutely no idea what they're talking about, you can't follow the boss. It's crazy. Charge that hill when you know it's going to be a massacre? No, you don't have the info that I have. I'm not charging the hill, and you shouldn't be telling us to charge the hill. So, no, I'm not getting in the helicopter. Anyway, I'm tooling around town, and, I'm dropping reports and stuff. Then I bump into Fletcher Mackel, Fletcher and Travers. I bumped into them like every 2 or 3 days over like a month. Before, during, after the storm. And Fletcher, the city's flooded still, literally. Half the city's underwater. And Fletcher's like, man, they just had a meeting in San Antonio, and he broke the story. I think he got it from Arnie Filko. The Saints were hunkered down in some like public, like the Sewage and Water Board of San Antonio, like the water plant. And they had a meeting. And speaking of yes men to Governor Jeff Landry, lots of Saints employees. I mean, they're not going to, go against Tom Benson. Tom Benson could mistake that for lack of loyalty or something like that. So he's talking about, we're in San Antonio now. This is a San Antonio team. We're going to permanently move here. New Orleans is crushed. We don't know when they're coming back. We're an NFL franchise. We don't have time for that. I got a lot of investments in San Antonio, as much here, if not more, than New Orleans. Easy, smooth move to San Antonio. And I think a lot of Saints people were like Tom Benson, born and raised in New Orleans, and are kind of scratching their head, but weren't speaking up. And then Arnie Filko, who was like vice president or something, he's like, Tom, we can't do this. The city's crushed. We can't abandon the city now. And Benson was like, you sit down. Was like upset about it. Didn't want to hear this contrary opinion, this voice. So Arnie Filko, who's from Chicago, but had been in New Orleans a long time and understood the importance of the Saints for New Orleans, he started, not arguing with Tom Benson, but disagreeing with him. Cost him his job. He got fired. Eventually lost his job because of that. Thank goodness for Paul Tagliabue, the former commissioner. Tom, slow down your roll. There are 32 teams. This is New Orleans. The Saints have been here since the 60s. It's a Super Bowl city. We have as many Super Bowls here as anywhere. It is entrenched in the NFL. We're not abandoning New Orleans during this time of crisis. Forget about moving to San Antonio. It's not going to happen. We're not abandoning New Orleans during this time of crisis. New Orleans needs us, the NFL, the Saints, more than ever. We can be a symbol, a beacon of hope. And that's exactly what happened. Slow down your roll, Tom. You're not moving the Saints to San Antonio. It's not happening. It's not happening. No, thank God for Paul Tagliabue, because Tom Benson was hell-bent. Like, not just an idea, not a thought, like, maybe we'll do it. Let's talk about it. Hell-bent, determined to move the Saints to San Antonio 20 years ago. And Paul Tagliabue nixed the idea immediately and quickly. And got with other owners and made sure there would be no momentum for this. And that was easy. The Texans, Jerry Jones, they don't want a team in Texas. They got teams in Texas. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday. Latrim, the global manufacturing giant, is hiring. Looking for a job, looking for a career. We're about to fade into the new year, 2026. Go to Latrim.com for a full listing of positions available. Latrim.com, Latrim spelled Laitram. Go to the website right now, Latrim.com.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Artificial turf custom golf putting green. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate.
It's a hell of a lot easier than when I delivered pizza in New Orleans. What the hell? We're all just blocking the street. We're all just blocking the street. Come on, I gotta deliver this pizza. We're all just blocking the street. Ah, screw it. We won't stop blocking the street. Yeah, stop blocking the street.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson.
We did not even hit 60 degrees today. Waking up around 40 on the South Shore, maybe creeping up about 15 degrees, and ridiculously windy all day long. Still windy. And that wind dropped the temperature at least 10 degrees. I was up on the levee on the Mississippi earlier today in the morning. It was cold. That wind was blowing 15, 20 miles an hour straight out of the north. Cold. Bone-chilling cold. Tomorrow morning, even colder than this morning. We'll get into the mid to high 30s on the South Shore tomorrow morning. 37, 38 degrees when we wake up in the AM on the South Shore. That means you North Shore folks, Trey Yen country, Gallagher's 527 country. Going to be around freezing in the AM. Some parts of the North Shore in the high 20s tomorrow morning. And then in typical Metro New Orleans, South Louisiana fashion, Wednesday through Sunday, we'll be hitting the 70s again. 50s to mid-70s, Wednesday through Sunday. That's how it works around here, usually at least. We get a little cold spell within 36, 48 hours. We're right back to 60 degrees. I mentioned former NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue has died, saving the Saints. Tom Benson, literally determined to move the Saints to San Antonio 20 years ago, was done with New Orleans that quick. Arnie Philco let the cat out the bag. Fletcher Mackel breaks the story. Momentum builds. Paul Tagliabue steps up and says, Tom, forget it. You're not moving the Saints. The NFL, the group you're a member of, we're not abandoning the city of New Orleans in its time of need. Are you kidding me? No, thank God for the NFL and NBA. Commissioner Stern, same attitude. No, we got to go to Oklahoma City for a while, but we're coming back. And they did. And they've been back ever since. And then they awarded Oklahoma City a team because they did so well with attendance. Passion for the game. Built an arena. All that. You know, Gail Benson talks about when she dies, and I hope it's a long way away because she's a big proponent for the city of New Orleans. She owns these two franchises, the Saints and the Pelicans, and doesn't want to move them. They're more valuable in other cities. Both franchises are the Saints in London, the Pels in Seattle. They're worth double. The Saints not worth $5 or $6 billion. They're worth $10 billion in London, literally 10. And the Pelicans, they're worth double in Seattle, not 2-3 billion. They're worth 5 billion in Seattle. So someone with no ties to the city, strictly an investment, one would already be gone probably by now. And the other one would be heading towards the door. So don't like her as an owner, doesn't know the difference between a 2-guard or a cornerback. Maybe so. Maybe she, isn't the optimum owner as far as pushing the front office, making great hires, whatever. Who knows? But as far as an advocate for the city, she is definitely that. And she talks about, or the Saints organization talks about, when Miss Benson dies, and like I said, hopefully it's years away, decades away, the team will be sold to someone that will, by contract, will keep them in the city, and that's any contract can be broken. And then the money will be distributed from the sale, billions of dollars, into the metro New Orleans area, investing in the city, helping the city of New Orleans and its citizens. I say, why should Gail Benson wait to do that? She owns not one, but 2 major pro sports franchises, the Saints of the NFL, the Pelicans of the NBA. They're worth billions of dollars. Why not get with someone who's a local? Maybe it's Bill Goldring or his son Jeffrey. Maybe it's Todd Graves, a New Orleans native, born in the city, been in Baton Rouge most of his life, the creator of Raising Cane's. He's worth $22 billion with a B, and it's only going up. Has nearly 1,000 Raising Cane's locations. He owns all the locations, owns the building, owns the real estate, and owns the Raising Cane's. It's not publicly traded. He has no partners. He's worth $22 billion. Gail Benson, it's funny, a talk radio TV guy making a paltry salary compared to Gail Benson worth billions. Sell the Pelicans to Todd Graves. And then he's buying that team for billions of dollars, $2-3 billion. Then you have that $2 or $3 billion, and while you're in your mid-70s, physically, mentally with it, you can distribute that money throughout the metro area while you're alive. Have hands-on with it. And then Todd Graves has an option to buy the Saints. So you sell the Pelicans, and for years you have $2-3 billion to distribute. And then when that runs out, maybe 3, 5, 7 years down the road, however long it takes you to find worthy causes to distribute that Pelicans money, sell the Saints to Todd Graves. He'll be like you. New Orleans native, lives in Baton Rouge, Louisiana company, Raising Cane's. Doesn't want to move the Saints, doesn't want to move the Pelicans. Has more money than Jerry Jones. Has more money than Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones. No, it's funny. Talk radio TV guy telling a billionaire what to do. Just a suggestion. Your life would be better. You wouldn't have 2 franchises to worry about. Just worry about the Saints. And then the billions you free up by selling the Pelicans, which are safe and secure in Todd Graves' hands, you get to do your philanthropy. And then when that well runs dry in a few years, you sell the Saints and billions of more philanthropy. And then the baton is passed to someone like Gail Benson, a native New Orleanian that gets us and understands the importance of these teams being in New Orleans, like former NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue understood. Yeah, Gail Benson, sell the Pels to Todd Graves and give him an option to buy the Saints down the road. And then you get to be that great giver that you always have been. You got Tom Benson to give when he wasn't given a lot. You changed how he thought. You can do it while you're mentally and physically active. And that's a win-win for everybody, including this guy. Blue Boy. What, buddy? You like the idea? You think Todd Graves would be a great owner because you like cane sauce? What's that got to do with him being a good owner, Blue Boy? You want a 6-finger Caniac combo right now? Blue Boy, you're unbelievable. Tell folks to stick around. The 5 o'clock power hour is up next. Well, Blue Boy, at least you're getting back to business. See you in a second. Don't move. A lot more coming your way.
Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And
You'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it.
let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Here we go again. Yeah, you right. 5 o'clock power hour is upon us. Corey Johnson back at you on this cold, nippy, breezy day. Sunny skies. Nice out there. Actually, the sun's dropping out the sky as we speak because yep, and that crappy standard time's going down right now. A little more light in the morning. I'd rather get light at 7 in the morning instead of 6 if we had an extra hour right now, like get dark at 6:15 instead of in about 10 minutes. But that's life. I think the days get shorter until December. I want to say like December 21st, the winter solstice. That's the shortest day of the year, daylight time. And we get dark like a little after 5. And then it starts getting longer all the way until the summer solstice. And, you know, daylight until like 8:15, 8:30. Like 3 hours longer. Anyway. 57 degrees was our high today. We didn't even hit 60. Waking up this morning to like 40 degrees on the South Shore and the 30s on the North Shore. Tomorrow morning, even colder. We'll wake up mid to high 30s on the South Shore and freezing or below on the North Shore. And then Wednesday through Sunday, we're right back up to the mid 70s. Gotta love New Orleans. We get a cold snap, which I shouldn't say we all embrace. Some people just absolutely hate the cold. But we get a cold snap, and within 36, 48 hours, it's gone. Right back to thinking of going to the beach. 766-9480 is the magic phone number if you'd like to participate in the program. Comment, question, critique, whatever. 766-9480. 766-9480. Hey, Tulane Greenway fans, if you missed the 4 o'clock hour, you missed a lot. Right around 4:20, Jon Sumrall, Tulane head football coach, joined us. If you go in about 55 minutes, if you missed that interview and you want to check it out, 2 things. A little after 6 o'clock, you can go to my YouTube channel, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. Click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It doesn't cost anything. You can check out the interview there on YouTube about 15 minutes into the feed. Or just check out my Twitter. We'll have some cuts from Jon Sumrall later today from that interview, some of the highlights. Yeah, I asked him about staying and what he likes about Tulane, what would take him to leave, all this stuff. You'll hear it all coming up. Yeah, Mario, that might be a good just montage, whereas that last few questions where what keeps you here, you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. But anyway, yeah, Sumrall and I kind of going back and forth on some of these different things. Tulane Greenway fans, check it out on YouTube or on X later. Every day, by the way, we're live on Twitter, X, live right now on X. Follow me at Corey Johnson. Live right now on YouTube every day, and live on the radio and live on TV, old school and new school. Former NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue has passed away over the weekend. He saved the Saints. Pure and simple, save the Saints. If Paul Tagliabue would have been a passive NFL commissioner and would have been like, hey, like Major League Baseball, just like Major League Baseball. Hey, you owners, y'all are the owners. Y'all essentially run it. I mean, Bud Selig owned the Brewers and was the commissioner at the same time. Like the owners took over, the deal. Like the inmates are running the asylum. You need a commissioner that the owners obviously approve, but it's not like he has like this ultimate authority, but it's sort of like, executive branch, legislative branch. So there's some checks and balances with a legitimate major pro sports league commissioner, and there really aren't any with Major League Baseball, and that's probably why Major League Baseball has problems and why the NFL is thriving. Paul Tagliabue basically told Tom Benson, you're not moving the Saints to San Antonio, Tom. It's not happening. We're not abandoning your city, ironically. We're not abandoning your city in its time of need. The actual opposite's going to take place. We're going to be part of the rebuild of the city. We're going to help bring New Orleans back. The Superdome, the Saints were a symbol of hope, and we're going to embrace that role, and you're going to be the owner. And then Tagliabue got with other owners, and it wasn't just like the Texans owner at the time, McNair, or Jerry Jones, that did not want another team in Texas. It was other NFL owners that were like, yeah, why would Tom Benson want to move the team from San Antonio? I'm from Philly, and I own the Eagles, and I think that's crazy. No, Tom Benson was pissed off, upset, was ready to abandon New Orleans. Those are just the facts. You can love Tom Benson. You can dislike him. I'm not trying to get you to hate him. I'm not trying to get you to love him. I'm just telling you the guy was pissed off, fed up with New Orleans, saw the city after Katrina, and just abandoned any kind of hope of coming back. I have a lot of financial interests in San Antonio. The New Orleans Saints are actually a Texas team legally. They're filed in Texas, the ownership. So he's got the car dealerships, the banks, arguably more money invested in San Antonio than New Orleans. So he was pretty determined, pretty hell-bent, fixated on moving the Saints to San Antonio. And Paul Tagliabue said, no shot, not happening. No chance, no way, no shot. Stop what you're doing. Slow down your roll. It's not happening, Tom. If he would have been more amiable and just, Tom, you're the owner. I don't care what you owners do. Go to San Antonio. The Saints would be in San Antonio. Probably be no Drew Brees. There'd be no Super Bowl, none of that. So Tom Benson was going to move the team to San Antonio. That's what he wanted to do. NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue shut it down. Now, word got out by Arnie Filko stepping up. Arnie Filko sacrificed his livelihood, his job, like vice president of the Saints. They're having a meeting at the San Antonio water plant. And that's where Tom Benson's like, we're a San Antonio team right now. We're going to be a San Antonio team forever. We're going to move the Saints to San Antonio. And a bunch of yes people with the organization just sat there and bit their lip. Many of them native New Orleanians that knew it was wrong, personally didn't want to do it, professionally knew it was the wrong move. Arnie Filko had the courage, was brave enough to step up and be like, Tom, all due respect, can't do that. Now, Tom Benson's real old school. He takes, someone disagreeing with him sometimes as not being loyal to him. And he soon fired Arnie Filko, who is nothing but a sweet guy, doesn't have an evil bone in his body, doesn't want to fight, doesn't want to argue, just wants what's best. But even like Arnie Filko is kind of passive and a nice guy. Doesn't want to get into the fray unless it's absolutely necessary, like family, friends, things he loves at stake. Well, he fell in love with the city of New Orleans, and he, from that emotion, coupled with being able to pull himself outside the box and look at this from afar, my God, this Saints NFL franchise, much more important to the city of New Orleans than most pro sports franchises are to their respective city. So he stood up and he said, I'm not going to, just sit here and be quiet. Tom, that's a mistake. We can't abandon New Orleans. Tom took it as being disloyal, him disagreeing, fired him. Now, I remember when Fletcher Mackel broke that story right after Katrina, early to mid-September at the latest, back in 2005, and broke that story of Arnie Filko at the meeting and Tom Benson wanting to move the team to San Antonio. Just crazy. No, former Commissioner Paul Tagliabue helped save the Saints, keep them here in New Orleans. Langenstein's, now Adler's. Adler's is closing. Their Canal Street location and the Metairie location, which they just opened about 7-8 years ago, back in like 2018. Yeah, that Adler's, nearly 130 years in the jewelry business in New Orleans, known throughout the South. Yeah, first Langenstein's. Over 100 years, about 103 years old. I mean, over a century operating in New Orleans continuously. A couple of legends, a couple of New Orleans institutions gone just like that. Langenstein's, Uptown's already a Robear. The Arabella store already a Robears. Old Metairie already a Robears. The River Ridge location is just going to close. It won't become a Robears. They're open through December as a Langenstein's. I'm literally going to go out there and get a few steaks before they call it a day. Maybe some of those little mini crawfish pies that are so good. The potatoes au gratin. Going to get my little Langenstein's meal before they call it a day. And Adler's, bought my wedding ring for my former wife there. Watches, jewelry, earrings. Couple of New Orleans institutions gone. Kind of sad. The ULL president. Yeah, first it was the LSU president. Now the ULL Lafayette president. Governor Landry has his pick. No search needed, apparently. Mind-blowing. It's going to be some local, some yes man. That can't be ultimately good for ULL. Monday, always better in New Orleans when the Saints win. Have they found a quarterback? We'll talk about that. UNO at the PMAC tonight. Mario, they're getting like 19 and a half. Like McMahon's team's good. You know what that makes me think? Bet LSU if you're a gambler. Like,
I don't know, man.
The sucker bet is UNO.
Your take's way more educated than mine, but I might take UNO.
No, it's
just
not.
Off the vibes.
You know the team's much better than me.
LSU's bad. UNO has momentum right now. I might sprinkle a little on the privateers.
Coming right back.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TF-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TF-AC.com, your cool spots.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet. Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe. Artificial turf custom golf putting greens. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Following the facts.
We've got studies on 60% of the time it works. Every time.
Corey Johnson.
Hey, if you need a great pair of prescription glasses or a great pair of sunglasses, don't go to the strip mall. Don't go to some chain store. Go to Art and Eyes on Magazine, one of the finest eyewear boutiques in the country. Art and Eyes on Magazine, about 4,000 different frames to choose from, plus a great staff that all they do is eyewear. They'll help you out. They'll help you select a great pair of frames. Google them, Art and Eyes on Magazine for eyewear. Art and Eyes on Magazine. Google them. Cool and crisp day, Beechwood age. Tomorrow morning's going to be even colder. South Shore, high 30s. North Shore, freezing and below. That's tomorrow morning. Wednesday through Sunday, 50s through 70s. Right back up to the 70s by Wednesday through Sunday. Fantastic. Great non-summer season weather in New Orleans. Yeah, we got 2 seasons, 6 months of summer and 6 months of non-summer. And occasionally, like a little spring, fall, winter will slip in there. Occasionally. Former NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue has passed away. Helped save the Saints 20 years ago. Tom Benson wanted to move the team to San Antonio. Todd Graves, I'm hearing, has talked to the Saints, has talked to Gail Benson. I'll buy the Pelicans. I'll buy the Saints. I think the Saints organization, well aware that Todd Graves would buy either or team, both teams, one or both. Gail Benson's plan is, when I pass away, all the money, we'll sell the team, someone local, they'll keep them in New Orleans ideally, and then the money from the sale, I'm going to just give that, not to the city of New Orleans, but there'll be a trust set up, and they'll distribute the money, billions of dollars, to various organizations in the metro New Orleans area to better the city, make life better for us. It's pretty incredible. I'm Gail Benson. I mean, my advice would be like, you're like 75 years old. You're mentally and physically sharp. In 10 or 20 years, you're probably going to want to sit around and watch TV and not do a lot of stuff. Right now, you can still travel. You can still do stuff. Sell the Pelicans to Todd Graves. Take the billions of dollars and start that philanthropy campaign right now while you're alive to do it. You pick and choose with your board where you want the money to go. And that billions of dollars, it's going to take you years to distribute that. Then you're getting closer to 80. You've distributed the billions from the Pell sale. Sell the Saints to Todd Graves. Then you've got, for the rest of your life, you're this great philanthropist, and you're just setting up people and organizations that need the money, that benefits the city, benefits the citizens. Do it while you're alive. Why do you want to own these pro sports franchises when you could be using all the money from them and being this philanthropist? And that would be your job, your role. Have a board that comes up with the ideas, and you just give them the thumbs up. I don't know. I think that's just like a no-brainer for Gail Benson. Why would I want to own? I'm a 75-year-old woman. I don't know the difference between a 2-guard and a cornerback. It's not the Indianapolis Colts owner. She's on the sideline with the headset. She's like 50 years old, 45 years old. She's very proactive. Gail Benson's not going anywhere. She's 75. She's mentally and physically sharp. Great-looking lady, loves the city. Live life to the fullest. Why be bogged down owning these pro sports franchises? The great thing is you free up one to Todd Graves. You can focus in on the Saints and focus in on your philanthropy. And then in a few years, jettison the Saints and focus in more on the philanthropy. That if I were an advisor to Gail Benson, that's what I would do. And from what I understand, Todd Graves has inquired about the Pelicans and the Saints. So has that Fertitta guy in Houston, who owns what? He owns the Rockets, I guess. And he owns Morton Steakhouse and Landry's Seafood and different entities like that. He's a multi-billionaire. He's a Houston native, loves New Orleans. Spent a lot of time here his whole life, 5-hour drive away, 1-hour plane ride. He's like, love New Orleans, love the Saints. Wouldn't be trying to buy him and move him anywhere. Buy him and keep him in New Orleans. So that's a nice, after like a Todd Graves or a Bill Goldring or his son Jeffrey, I think like a Fertitta's a pretty good connection. From Houston, knows New Orleans, loves New Orleans, understands the importance of the Saints in New Orleans, and has no desire to move him. Knows him as the New Orleans Saints. That's what he's always known. That's what he wants it to be. So that's a nice B guy, But the ideal guys, Todd Graves or, Bill Goldring or his son Jeffrey, New Orleans natives, but all of them. Even though Todd Graves is much more connected to Baton Rouge than New Orleans. But still, it's 80 miles up I-10. Be a perfect owner. Boy, Langenstein's closing now. Adler's, both over 100 years old. Those are a couple of New Orleans institutions. I mean, if you're, any age, those entities have been there your entire life. I mean, is there someone in New Orleans that's over 103 years old? I guess so. But do they remember a Langenstein's never being there? Adler's is 130 years old. So there's no one on planet Earth that if they know New Orleans, they know it with an Adler's. They don't know it without an Adler's. Now it's going to be New Orleans without Langenstein's and Adler's. I mean, times change. All good things come to an end, whatever. Just kind of a bummer. I like variety. I like Langenstein's. I didn't shop there all the time, but I shop there enough. A few dozen times a year. And Robert's and Rouse's. Zappardo's. I hit them all. I like all these grocery stores. Dorignac's. They're all really good. It's nice to have options. So Langenstein's closing. They had a little niche. They had some things I like that I like to get from Langenstein's. It's going to be gone soon. And now Adler's. I bought jewelry there, watches, former wife's wedding ring. Adler's, a New Orleans institution, closing, liquidating all the jewelry in both locations, Canal Street and Metairie, gone. Governor Jeff Landry has his pick with no search apparently needed for the ULL president. It'll be some local yokel that's a yes man to the governor. Not what's best for ULL, but someone that'll answer to Governor Landry because he knows best. Monday, always a better day in New Orleans when the Saints wins. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx, fielding your phone calls, 766-9480. He's also our in-house sports expert. Mario, have the Saints found their quarterback in Tyler Shuck?
Oh, it's definitely possible, man. If he's able to build off that game, then
that was a hell of a good game, man.
Yeah.
Second career start. And the Ram game, you're throwing the guy in the fire. That defense,
yes.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, it was impossible to evaluate that game. We talked about it in the pregame in the Spanish broadcast. The Saints had the ball like 12 minutes all game. Tyler Shuck literally could not do anything because the time of possession disparity was so great.
What was the legitimate time of possession disparity?
I'd like to look it up, but it was definitely under 15 minutes. Like it
under
was like,
15 minutes for the Ram game.
I believe so.
Under 15. The Rams held the ball for like 46, 47 minutes.
Flirting with an NFL record. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna look.
Now, Mario Brothers, back in the day with Jim Mora's Saints, that was all the time, dude.
Yeah.
Carl Smith would just get abused for being not a good offensive coordinator, and he never held the position again. And Jim Mora was, too conservative on offense. I would look at these time of possession stats. I mean, routinely, I guarantee about 5-6 times a year back then.
Yeah.
40+ minutes for the Saints. 40+ minutes.
Yeah, Rams had it for 43 minutes and 53 seconds. The Saints had it for 16 minutes, 7 seconds.
Yeah, that sounds a little more realistic.
Not quite 15, but close to it. I mean, that's,
no. Are you
bad.
kidding me? It's
Yeah,
like, no, a little more than a quarter. That
Yeah.
was literally the Saints did that a lot of the time under Jim Mora.
Yeah,
And that dome defense, a lot of 3 and out, just kicking teams' butt. And the offense would just run the ball, and Morton Anderson would kick a field goal, you know?
I think it's possible to not overreact, but to be excited about what you saw. I mean, almost 300 yards. That was the most passing yards by a Saint QB since Drew Brees did it Christmas Day 2020. So, yeah, that's encouraging. I mean, he quite literally had a better game than Spencer Rattler ever had. And that's not a knock on Rattler. It's just
Not
the truth.
turning the ball over, not taking a sack or throwing it out of bounds.
My observation was in the short to
looking off receivers.
Yes, that, but the short to intermediate passes, he was very accurate. Like, he had that one ball to Taysom that was slightly behind him that was incomplete, but other than that, he was hitting guys in stride, right in the pocket.
Yep.
Like, he looked more accurate and more mobile than Rattler, and I feel bad putting Rattler down, but just being objective, I think that was the case.
A couple of deep balls, which makes the defense more legitimate. And then you can run the ball.
Yeah.
Carolina was 5-4. I mean, they're not good, but they're actually very mediocre.
No, and a good quarterback elevates the play of the rest of the team. Hopefully that is what happened. But either way, the rest of the team played a lot better. Offensive line was blocking.
It's such a major difference maker because if you don't have a quarterback, then next year you're not making the playoffs for sure. It's a rebuilding year, continuation next year. You'd be lucky to win like 6-7 games next year. The over-under would increase from 4.5 to maybe 6.5 tops. But if you have a quarterback, if Tyler Shuck's like a, quote, NFL starting quarterback, Mario, and there are 3 tiers of the NFL. You got like 32 teams. So you got like split it into 10 or 11 each, top 10, middle 10, bottom 10. You got kind of elite quarterbacks in that top 10. The middle 10 are viable. You can win a Super Bowl with them. They're NFL starters. The bottom 10 you cannot win with. They're not NFL starters. So there's basically 20 NFL quarterbacks on planet Earth.
Mm-hmm.
There's about 8 that are elite, and there's like another dozen that are viable, and no more. If Shuck can fall into that viable dozen, the Saints could make the playoffs next year. They could win like 9 or 10 games simply by having a viable quarterback. You don't have one, subtract 4 wins off the season.
Yes, that's reasonable. And hopefully they're in a spot where if Shuck plays so well that you're not really considering taking a quarterback with your first pick. You can get an elite O-lineman or an elite receiver or an elite corner or something like that. That goes a long way in building your team,
Mario, you're getting suckered in tonight. It's all emotion.
Maybe.
UNO is at the PMAC. The spread's 20.
Make them say
19.5. LSU and McMahon's team haven't done anything in years.
Yeah.
And UNO just beat TCU.
I got more.
I'm telling you that people are going to pound UNO, and the sucker bet is UNO.
Yeah.
LSU is going to win this game. The Vegas boys are smart. Watch tomorrow. We'll talk about this. LSU was going to win by 25. Watch. And I know I couldn't name a player on either team.
Yeah.
And my emotions like, my God, UNO just beat TCU. LSU sucks.
Yes.
UNO might be viable. They're going to stay within 20.
You would think. I don't know. Objectively, that's probably the move.
Sucker bet.
But
Sucker bet.
Like I told you in the break, this time last year, LSU lost to Nichols on their home
Sucker
floor.
bet.
So
Vegas knows something.
if Nichols can
It's
beat
19.5.
privateers can get
You're
them.
thinking too much. That's all noise.
Make them say, Coach P, baby.
Go with the sucker bet.
Respect Coach P more than Coach McMahon.
Oh, boy. Pels at Phoenix tonight at 8. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday. Coming right back. Sucker bet.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, insagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, insagency.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
The vibe of the Crescent City, Corey Johnson.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, sir.
In Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM. Also from Baton Rouge to Pensacola, Florida on 600 AM and 1560.
Yeah, you right. How about Katie's tonight for dinner? One of the big dilemmas in New Orleans, because we have so many choices, where to go for lunch, where to go for dinner. Seriously. Katie's, huge menu, chock full of fresh local seafood and a bunch of New Orleans specialties, old school. A true taste of New Orleans, as it gets. Problem solved tonight for dinner. Katie's in Mid-City. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday afternoon. We did not hit 60 today. I think the high was 57. Tomorrow morning, we wake up high 30s on the South Shore, freezing or below on the North Shore. And then Wednesday through Sunday, 50s, 60s, and 70s. Yeah, we'll be right back to the 70s in about 36 hours from now. Pretty amazing. You got to love New Orleans weather. Langenstein's closing. Now Adler's, a couple of New Orleans institutions over 100 years old. ULL is going to have their next president. Governor Landry knows best. He's got his pick. A yes man. No search needed, apparently. Wow. Always better in New Orleans when the Saints win. Hey, speaking of the Saints, former NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue has passed away. He saved the Saints. This guy remembers it. He was in New Orleans. He's with the Associated Press for nearly 30 years. Brett Martell joins us. Another Martell Monday. What up, Brett?
Yeah, indeed. I met Paul Tagliabue on a couple of occasions, and he was definitely instrumental in not allowing a franchise to even think about moving when its home city was on its knees after a major natural disaster.
So well said, Brett. Yeah. Go ahead.
It turned out to be a story, and it kind of had a storybook ending in a way. I mean, we're winning the Super Bowl 4 years later. So,
yep,
pretty amazing.
Yeah. The story was they were at the San Antonio water plant having a meeting, and Benson was vehement, just fixated on Saints are moving to San Antonio. And Arnie Philco stepped up and was like, Tom, we can't do it. You can't abandon the city. And I think Benson sometimes took someone disagreeing with him as not being loyal. Arnie Philco loses his job, but Tagliabue steps up and said exactly how you said it so eloquently, Brett. We're not abandoning New Orleans in its time of need, Tom. Forget it. Drop the idea. It's not happening. The NFL, the Shield, we're not tarnishing the image by allowing a franchise, one of 32, to abandon a city when it needs us most. We're going to do the opposite of what you're talking about. We're not going to abandon the city. We're going to help rebuild the city. We're going to be instrumental in bringing New Orleans back. That he was huge, Brett.
Well, and I don't know if the NBA would have made exactly the same decision on their own, but once the NFL had set that example, it would have made the NBA look even worse if they had allowed, the then Hornets to stay in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
In spite of the fact that it seemed to be a better spot for them at the time. You could argue that Tagliabue saved two. Helped save one team and maybe helped save two.
No, you're right. That's a really good point. I didn't think about that, Brett. And another good point about Oklahoma City. You could argue it's a better run franchise. They've had more success, and they have a more, their fan base in Oklahoma City to the Thunder's like the Saints fans in New Orleans to the Saints. They're
right.
fanatics.
Right. And they were selling out like crazy when the Hornets were displaced to Oklahoma City for a couple seasons after the storm. And, they had an owner who was a bit cash-strapped and saw that as his salvation. And the NBA said, nope, you got to move back to New Orleans. And then he ended up having to sell the team first to the league. And then the league, eventually turned it over to the Bensons, who, even if Tom did, there's some revisionist history maybe going on, but even if Tom felt strongly for a short period of time that there was no future for the Saints in New Orleans and was looking at maybe, saving himself financially by having the team move to San Antonio, by doing the right thing and coming back to New Orleans and embracing it. He ended up, owning both teams and they've been on pretty solid financial footing. Obviously, the now Pelicans haven't won a lot, but now we're going on 2 decades of NBA basketball in the city, and the Saints just signed a lease extension in the Superdome.
Yep. Brett Martell's with us, another Martell Monday. Brett, have you heard anything about Todd Graves inquiring about the Saints and Pelicans? I talked to somebody that knows him pretty well and says he has talked to the Saints. Just, I'm interested. I'd buy either team, both teams. First, that. And second, just your opinion. I mean, Gail Benson, she's basically the organization has said when she passes away, sell the teams to someone that'll keep them in town, and then the money will be distributed over time, to charities and needy entities in the Metro New Orleans area. The money will make New Orleans a better city, billions of dollars. I'm thinking like, I'm Gail Benson, I'm 75, mentally and physically there. Sell the Pelicans, the lesser value of the two franchises, to Todd Graves or, Bill Goldring, Jeffrey Goldring, someone local. Free up billions of dollars from that sale. And then while you're alive, be the philanthropist and distribute that money. And then when that money is distributed, you have an agreement in place to sell the Saints to Todd Graves or Goldring and then sell them. And then she gets to distribute that money. Why, after she passes away, Brett, some board entity she puts in place will be distributing the money. Let Gail Benson to distribute it while she's alive. I think she would like that career better than being an NBA, NFL owner, I think. But, what do I know?
I'm trying to figure out why you would start making sense at this point in your radio career.
That's a good point.
No, I mean, look, I think there's probably some serious thought that's going into that. But, she could have a personal or emotional attachment to the franchises. She knows that as long as she's alive and owns them, they're not going anywhere, so they'll never move on her watch. She can try to ensure that a new owner won't move them, but the fact is, once she sells them, she's lost control. So
yep.
I think it's just a complicated equation that she has to go through. And, I know people are frustrated with the losing lately, and they like to see changes at the top when that happens. But it's there's 2 ways to look at it. One way to look at it is that those teams are secure in New Orleans as long as she owns them. Saying that she doesn't have a background in sports ownership, except for since she, married Tom Benson.
Yeah, no.
20
And the
20 years ago.
Pelicans under Benson and Gale has not been a successful NBA franchise at all.
Yeah.
And the Saints, without Peyton and Drew Brees, hasn't been a successful NFL franchise.
Right. So, yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of ways to look at it. And you can certainly make the argument that if she could find a buyer with Louisiana roots, such as Todd Graves, who was interested in not only acquiring the teams and maintaining them in New Orleans, or
Yep.
that would be a good move. But it's not easy. I mean, those teams are worth a lot because of their potential to make money in any market, not just New Orleans.
Yeah. Yep. Oh no. I mean, I was saying earlier, Brett, the Saints in London, they're worth double what they are in New Orleans. The Pelicans in Seattle, worth double what they are in New Orleans. I don't think I'm exaggerating those, values.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a relatively small market, and things, it hasn't gotten better in New Orleans lately. I mean, we've got a lot of restaurants closing. We've continued to have, headquarters move out of town. I mean, the title sponsor of the arena, right, Smoothie King, a few years ago moved to Dallas.
Yep.
So, it's, I mean, look, sports are a lot of fun. It's good for civic pride. But New Orleanians should feel very, very fortunate. I mean, the state's ability, the state government's ability to allow the teams to have favorable rent in state-owned arenas, and a single owner being able to consolidate all the front office and marketing staff.
Yep.
Has made those teams viable here. It's a kind of a unique situation. So I think people just have to appreciate how unique it is, but also, and how fragile it is.
No, and like you said, and I was saying earlier, a contract's meant to be broken. There's no guarantee you bring in new people. They're going to definitely keep the team here no matter what they say. Hey, Brett, a Saints win always makes New Orleans Monday a lot better. Did the Saints find their quarterback yesterday?
Well, I think what it does is it sets exactly that plot line for the last 7 games. He gives that performance, which was one of the better performances, by a rookie quarterback this year. Maybe Jackson Dart had one a little bit better, but it definitely, I think, sets the stage for people to say, okay, well, we're not thinking about playoffs for a team that's 2-8, but we can. But what is the plot line for the last 7 games of the season? The plot line is he going to play well enough so that to convince the Saints, persuade the Saints brass that they don't need to expend a high draft pick on a quarterback, that they can look elsewhere because he's good enough at his, considering his upside and how young he still is, to be, a quarterback that you can win with. So we'll see. I mean, that's what everyone's going to be watching, I think, going forward. But that's certainly that's an encouraging sign, the way he played. But, Carolina's not exactly a juggernaut. They are improved and they're 5-5, but they're not, a defensive power in the NFL by any stretch.
Brett Martell's with us, another Martell Monday. Hey, Brett, UNO is at the PMAC tonight. UNO just beat TCU. They're 2-0. McMahon's Tigers are 1-0. LSU's favored by 19.5. I mean, right away, you're like, LSU hadn't done anything. UNO just beat TCU. You got to bet UNO. I don't gamble, and I know you don't either, but I think the sucker bet is UNO. I think Vegas knows what they're talking about. They think LSU's going to win by 20 plus. If I gambled, I'd bet LSU tonight. They're going to win by like 25. I can't name a player on either team. The spread shocked me, 19.5.
Yeah, well, I mean, LSU their team is totally new with transfers. I mean, they have one returning starter from last year. And, I look, obviously, we've talked a lot about how much Vegas knows what they're doing. Clearly, the guys who set the line saw whatever happened in the TCU game, and I didn't see them beat TCU. I think it's a great story that they did.
Yep.
But it's not like they didn't see the game and then just, made a point spread based on the fact that LSU is a big school in UNO.
Exactly. They know the teams. They know all the information.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, I'm curious to see how, I'm curious to see UNO's encore and to see how real this is, what, Master P is trying to do there to give them a fighting chance as their, sort of, high profile general manager in this new age of NIL and college sports.
I mean, if LSU wins this by like 25, I'm going to be like, my God, these Vegas lines, these guys just know what they're talking about. Just, it reeks sucker bet. Like all my impulse, all my emotion wants to bet UNO, and I don't bet, but I think LSU is going to win by a lot when they're 19.5 point favorite, when everything tells me it's like a toss-up type game. But again, I can't name a player on either team, and that's probably why I don't bet, Brett. Hey, the Pels are at Phoenix tonight, 8 o'clock. I'll tell you what, Brett, besides Zion Williamson, you may trade a bunch of other veteran talent as well, because it's a rebuild, and these young guys look pretty good, actually, for the Pels, these rookies.
Well, I think it's a huge relief to Joe Dumars that Derek Queen has looked as good as he has in the last couple games.
Are you kidding me?
Because that's the pick that he got killed for, right? Because they traded back into the first round to get him.
It was hard to find any national writer saying that was a good trade for the Pelicans. I don't think there was one. The opposite, the Hawks fleeced the Pelicans, and what are the Pelicans thinking?
And it still might turn out to be a bad trade, only because if you look at college basketball this year, the top of the first round appears to be loaded in next summer's draft. So, to not have a pick for that draft might hurt. But in the meantime, both rookies for the Pelicans have looked very, very promising. And, they say about team sports, right? Like the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. I mean, we'll just have to see how this team coalesces over time. But it's, a lot of new players, and they're also banking on, which is a risky play, banking on Zion Williamson being healthy for most of the year and productive, and we'll see if that happens. But it was good to see him win a couple games. They still got a long way to go. What are they, 2-7 going into tonight?
Yeah, exactly. They got a long way to go. Almost
yeah.
not recoverable. No, get Zion Williamson healthy and trade him, or cut him. It's 7 years. It's ridiculous. Hey, Brett, real quick before we let you go, a couple more questions. Tulane, very disappointing loss at Texas San Antonio, a team that's got like a 25-game win streak at home. Boy, they go to Memphis and they take care of the AAC leading team, top 25 team, only had one loss, and they do it on the road. Huge win for Jon Sumrall and Tulane. They're still alive for the playoffs.
They are still alive, and it was a huge win, although it got pretty nervous at the end, right? I mean, they almost blew about a 3-touchdown lead in the fourth quarter. But they pulled it out. And look, that's a huge win at Memphis. I mean, that team had a long home winning streak. They had beaten Arkansas there, right? So now not only has Tulane beaten Duke and Northwestern, but they beat a conference foe that was also having a great season, that had also beaten an SEC team. So that was a big win. It was really a must-have win, and it sets the stage for. Obviously, they're sold out for homecoming against FAU at 3:00 on Saturday.
Yep.
I saw a really interesting screenshot of like SeatGeek prices, and the Tulane secondary market ticket price for Saturday's homecoming game is higher than LSU for this week or the following week against Arkansas.
LSU goes to Alabama. I forget, Brett, is it they've lost 9 of the last 11 Alabama, or 11 of the last 13? Whatever it is, Alabama owns LSU right now, owns them.
Yeah. I mean, obviously they beat them in 2019, and they beat them again in Kelly's first year, and I want to say 2022. But other than that, it's been a lot of Alabama victories. So the only other win I can remember was for LSU against Alabama was 2010. Is that right? So Alabama won every one between 11 and 18.
Yeah.
Well, wait, 2011. No, 2011. I'm sorry. 2011 they beat them at Alabama, and then lost in 2012 to the in the Superdome for the title, for the national title, and then they lost every game until 2019. I think after that, if I remember right, and then they didn't beat them again until 2022. So yeah, Yeah, I mean, it's what you had to expect. I mean, you always hope for with a new coach and a lot of talent on the roster that they would be galvanized and they'd come out and they'd have one of those kind of storybook performances where they would stage the upset. And that happens in college football, but the reason you will remember those games are because they're rare. And so I think the result is really what we should have reasonably expected.
Brett, how can folks check out your stuff via the AP?
APnews.com on a laptop or the AP News app on a smartphone. Gives you news from all over the world, and it's free.
Always a pleasure, Brett. Thanks so much.
All right, take care.
That's Brett Martell, another
Right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe. Some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab. Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
Roll call.
Kenner, Metairie, Harahan, River Ridge, Algiers, Gretna, Harvey, Terrytown, West Wego. We got you covered.
Got a good restaurant suggestion. Another one, Lebanon's Cafe. They're open till 9:30 tonight. They open up at 11 a.m. and they stay open throughout the day. I mean, you can go there for a late lunch at 2, 3 in the afternoon or an early dinner like 4 or 5 in the afternoon. 11 a.m. to 9:30 straight through, 7 days a week. I get a to-go order from Lebanon's at least once a week, and I'm usually in there about 3 out of the 4 Sundays each month with my mom and brother and sister. It's that good. Lamb chop, shish kebab, all your favorite Middle Eastern sides. You'll love it. Lebanon's Cafe, Carrollton at Jeanette, right by the streetcar barn. Another great dinner suggestion. And that could be a dilemma in New Orleans, where to eat, where to go. Cold out there, 50s, wind blowing. Tomorrow morning, temperatures are going to drop by the time we wake up nearly 20 degrees from what we're dealing with right now. On the South Shore, high 30s in the AM. On the North Shore, freezing or below in the AM. But then we're going to warm up Wednesday through Sunday, 50s to start the day, creeping into the 60s and even the 70s, mid 70s. So within about 36 hours, we're going to be right back up to the 60s. But right now, cold and windy. And tomorrow morning, very cold. Below freezing on the North Shore. High 30s on the South Shore. And windy. Boy, that wind coming out of the north, it was blowing earlier today. And cold and frigid. If you missed the program, Green Wave fans, now's the time to check it out. If you go to our YouTube channel, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson, about 15 minutes into today's feed, a good 15 minutes with Tulane head football coach Jon Sumrall. You want to check that out. Jon Sumrall, about 15 minutes into today's feed. We'll be back tomorrow, mañana, straight up 4 o'clock. Be right here, New Orleans. Adios. All right.
You're on the Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. On TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube. On radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM. WS